students, myself Jinali Shah welcomes you on behalf of Saraswat International Academy. Students, today we will begin with the next part of the chapter Animal Kingdom. In the previous video, we have studied regarding the characteristic features which are useful in classifying the animals. We have studied levels of organization, we have studied the germinal layers, we have studied regarding the body cavity, then we have also studied regarding the symmetry, segmentation as well as the presence or absence of notochord. These were some of the characteristic features which are used to classify the animals. Students, today we will begin with the different phylums of the animals. So, first phylum we will begin with the phylum Porifera, also called as the sponges. Now, name itself suggests Porifera. Pori is related to the term pores. So, why are these organisms called Porifera? They are called Porifera because their body is basically the entire body is having the pores. So, pores are present throughout the body and therefore they are called as Porifera. Why are they called as Porifera? Because their entire body consists of the pores. So, entire body is with pores, that is the small pores are called as the ostia. So, numerous small ostia which are used for the entry of the water, and there is one large opening which is called as the osculum for the exit of the water. So, their entire body is covered with pores, or you can say entire body consists of pores. So, there are numerous minute or you can say small pores. These small pores are called as ostia. These ostia are used for the entry of the water. Basically, they are marine animals. So, basically, जो भी food आएगा कि जो भी कुछ होने वाला है, it will be through the water. So, how water enters the body? So, through the small pores which are called as the ostia. But there is a single large pore which is called as an osculum. So, this large opening called as osculum, it will be used for the exit of the water. Members of this phylum are commonly called as sponges. So, these poriferans, they are also called as sponges. Now, which type of animals are they? They are marine. That is, they are found in sea water, or you can say in the oceans. They are sessile. Sessile means fixed. They cannot move from one place to another. They may be solitary or colonial. That is, they may occur singly or may also occur in groups, in colonies. And are asymmetrical animals. What do you mean by asymmetrical? When any plane passes through the center of the body, it does not divide the body into equal right and left parts. So, such animals are called as an asymmetric animals. Now, they are primitive multicellular. So, primitive means they are multicellular but not well developed. That is, cells are not organized into tissues. They will have the cellular level of organization. Diploblastic animals, which means they have the two germinal layers, ectoderm and endoderm, and have the cellular level of organization. Now, very important students, the body wall, it is covered by the two layers. The outer layer is called as the pinacoderm and the inner layer is called as the coenoderm. So, their body wall, it have two layers, pinacoderm which is outer layer, coenoderm which is called as the inner layer. Derm basically related to the skin. So, the body is covered by the two layers. Now, the outer layer which is called as pinacoderm, it consists of two types of the cell, or you can say it is made up of two types of cell. Some cells are flat which are called as the pinacocytes, and some cells are oval which are called as the porocytes. So, the outer layer is pinacoderm which consists of two types of the cell. Some are flat cells called as pinacocytes and some are oval cells which are called as the porocytes. Whereas the inner layer which is called as the coenoderm, it consists of the cells called as the coenocytes or collar cells. So, inner layer is made up of single type of cell which is called as the coenocyte or collar cells, and these cells are flagellated cells. It means they will have the flagella. Now, between the outer layer and inner layer, that is between pinacoderm and coenoderm, is the presence of the gelatinous material, and that gelatinous material present is called as the mesohyl. What is it called as? It is called as the mesohyl. Now, the body wall encloses a large central cavity which is called as the spongocyl, or also called as the paragastric cavity, and numerous small cavities which are called as the canals. So, body wall, it is the outer part of the animal. Now, towards the body, inner to this body wall, or you can say towards the inner side, is a large cavity, and that cavity is called as the spongocyls. Apart from this, it also contains many small cavities, and this small cavity is called as the canals. So basically, the body wall surrounds the large central cavity called as the spongocyl, as well as there are numerous small cavities called as the canals. And sponges have the water transport or canal system. This is very important. This is a unique feature of the sponges, that is water transport, or you can say canal system. Now, initially I told you their body is having pores. Small pores are called as ostia, and there is a single large opening called as the osculum. So now what is this canal system, or what is this water transport system? So here water enters the body through the minute pores called as the ostia in the body wall into a central cavity called as the spongocyls. So listen very carefully, their body wall is the outer part of the animal. So the body wall of an animal, it consists of the many minute pores, and these pores are called as the ostia. So whatever ostias are present in their body wall, through that ostia water will enter, and where that water will go? The water will go into a large central cavity. So internally the sponges contain the large cavity, I told you. And what is that large cavity called as spongocyl? So whatever water is entering through ostia, it goes where? Into the spongocyl. Okay, from spongocyl that water will be having nutrients get distributed, and now the water gets exit. So how the exit of the water takes place? So from where it goes out through the larger aperture called as the osculum. See, listen very carefully. Water will enter. See, this is the entry of the water. This entry of the water occurs through the ostia. Okay, ostia से water कहाँ पे जाता है? Large cavity. What is that cavity called as? It is called as the spongocyl. And from spongocyl the water exits. It finally leaves the sponges. How it leaves? So it leaves through the single opening which is called as the osculum. So this is very important. Water enters through the minute pores called as ostia into the body wall. From there it goes into the spongocyl. From spongocyl the water finally exits, or it leaves through a single large aperture called as the osculum. Now, ये जो water canal system है, what is the function of this water canal system? So this pathway of water is helpful in food gathering. See, they are marine water. So whatever food they will obtain will be from water. So water कहाँ से अंदर आएगा? So जब water body के अंदर आता है, at that time nutrients also enter the water. Then respiratory exchange. It means water में जो oxygen है वो अंदर आएगा, अंदर जो carbon dioxide produce हुआ वो बाहर जाएगा, as well as in the removal of the waste. So this is very important. The water canal system helps in gathering the food, it helps in respiration, as well as it will be helpful in the removal of the waste material. Now, Coenocytes or collar cells line the spongiocells and canal. I told you internally there is a large cavity called as spongiocell and there are numerous small canals, right? Now this spongiocell and canal, they are surrounded by the cells which are called as the coenocytes or collar cells, right? Here the digestion is intracellular, inside, cellular, that is the food will be digested inside the cell. यानी कि डाइजेस्टिव कैविटी अपनी बॉडी में हम बात करते हैं तो एलिमेंट्री कैनाल के अंदर, यानी कि फूड ट्यूब के अंदर डाइजेस्ट होता है, नहीं कि फूड सेल के अंदर जाके डाइजेस्ट होता है. सो हियर व्हाट इज द केस? The food will be digested inside the cell and not into the lumen or cavity of the digestive tube. Now how respiration and excretion takes place? So basically there are no specialized respiratory or you can say excretory organ. Body surface से ही ये process होगा. And which process? Diffusion. Diffusion यानी कोई भी substance when it moves from the region of higher concentration to lower concentration, it is called diffusion. So respiration में क्या होगा? ऑक्सीजन कहाँ पे ज़्यादा होगा? वाटर में. So वाटर में से ऑक्सीजन कहाँ पे आएगा? into the sponges. एंड स्पॉन्जेस क्या करेंगे? वो ऑक्सीजन को यूटिलाइज करके क्या बनाएंगे? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. ओके, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बॉडी में ज़्यादा है, वाटर में कम है. सो डिफ्यूजन हो रहा है, यानी बॉडी में से वो कहाँ पे जा रहा है? बाहर के साइड. सेम वे जो भी एक्सक्रीटरी मटेरियल बनता है. सो बेसिकली व्हाट इज डिफरेंस बिटवीन द एक्सक्रीशन एंड अनदर प्रोसेस इज द इजेशन. इजेशन इज व्हाट? रिमूवल ऑफ द अनडाइजेस्टेड फूड. पूरा फूड डाइजेस्ट करके जो थोड़ा अनडाइजेस्टेड फूड बचता है एंड उसके रिमूवल के प्रोसेस को क्या बोलते हैं? इजेशन. एंड व्हाट इज एक्सक्रीटरी फूड? excretory excretion. So basically it is the removal of the metabolic waste. अपन जो भी मेटाबॉलिक एक्टिविटीज़ करते हैं, बॉडी में जो भी कोई फिजियोलॉजिकल एक्टिविटी होती है एंड उसके बाद जो वेस्ट बनता है, सो बेसिकली दैट वेस्ट इज़ अ नाइट्रोजिनस वेस्ट. रिमूवल ऑफ द नाइट्रोजिनस वेस्ट फ्रॉम द बॉडी, इट इज़ कॉल्ड एज एक्सक्रीशन. सो यहाँ पे जो नाइट्रोजिनस वेस्ट है, 3 टाइप्स ऑफ नाइट्रोजिनस वेस्ट होते हैं: अमोनिया, यूरिया एंड यूरिक एसिड. सो दिस बेसिकली जो मराइन ऑर्गेनिजम्स होते हैं, दे रिमूव अमोनिया एज द एक्सक्रीटरी वेस्ट. सो मैंने लिखा है दे आर अमोनियोटेलिक. एंड हाउ दे आर रिमूव? थ्रू द बॉडी सरफेस, यानी बॉडी के सरफेस से ही ये वेस्ट मटेरियल रिमूव होगा. कोई स्पेशल एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम नहीं है. नाउ they have the skeleton which is made up of the spicules. Spicules may be made up of calcium or they may be made up of silica, or they also have the spongin fibers. So skeleton is made up of spicules or the spongin fibers. They are the only animals without the nervous system. Now students, here the sexes are not separate, yani male reproductive system and the female reproductive system, or you can say organs, they will be present in the same individual, that is they are hermaphrodite. The bisexual, you can say they are bisexual or hermaphrodite. It means the eggs and sperms are produced by the same individual. Eggs and sperms एक ही individual बनाएगा. But very important thing here is they undergo cross fertilization. इसका मीनिंग ये है कि बॉडी में एग्स और स्पर्म्स तो बनते हैं, लेकिन सेम बॉडी के एग्स और स्पर्म के बीच में फर्टिलाइजेशन नहीं होगा, क्रॉस फर्टिलाइजेशन होता है. स्पॉन्जेस, दे रिप्रोड्यूस एसेक्सुअली बाय फ्रेगमेंटेशन and sexually by the formation of the gametes. So they may undergo asexual reproduction by fragmentation and sexual reproduction के लिए तो gametes बनेंगे. Now sexual reproduction में fertilization होता है, तो fertilization कैसा है? Internal, that is it occurs inside the body. Development is indirect. Now see students, there are 2 types of development. zygote बन गया. अभी zygote का डेवलपमेंट कैसे होगा? तो 2 टाइप्स आर देयर. वन इज डायरेक्ट एंड अनदर वन इज इनडायरेक्ट. डायरेक्ट यानी क्या होगा? zygote वो यंग वन में कन्वर्ट होगा एंड यंग वंस आर सिमिलर टू द एडल्ट फॉर्म्स, राइट. बट इनडायरेक्ट में क्या होता है, पहले लार्वल स्टेज होगा एंड लार्वा जो है वो किस में कन्वर्ट होगा, एडल्ट फॉर्म में. सो इफ लार्वल स्टेज इज देयर दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द इनडायरेक्ट डेवलपमेंट. डायरेक्ट डेवलपमेंट यानी zygote will form the young ones and young ones they resemble the adults. So that is called as the development. So यहाँ पे जो development है वो कैसा है, indirect. Indirect है यानी क्या होगा, before forming the adult ones यहाँ पे larval stage आता है and this larval stage it is morphologically distinct from adults. Say for example बटरफ्लाई की बात करते हैं. सो बटरफ्लाई का जाइगोट बनेगा, सो वो क्या डायरेक्टली बटरफ्लाई में कन्वर्ट होता है, नहीं, पहले जो आता है वो कैटरपिलर होता है एंड कैटरपिलर गेट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू द बटरफ्लाई एंड दिस कैटरपिलर एंड बटरफ्लाई दोनों की मॉर्फोलॉजी, दोनों का अपीयरेंस कैसा है, डिफरेंट है. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द लार्वल स्टेज एंड दैट डेवलपमेंट इज कॉल्ड एज द इनडायरेक्ट. सो यहाँ पे इनडायरेक्ट डेवलपमेंट है यानी एडल्ट फॉर्म्स में कन्वर्ट होने से पहले कौन सा फॉर्म आएगा, लार्वल स्टेज. ओके, एंड ये जो लार्वल होते हैं वो लार्वा का नाम क्या है. सो द लाइफ साइकिल इंक्लूड्स फ्री स्विमिंग. फ्री स्विमिंग यानी लार्वा कैन स्विम इन द वाटर एंड दैट लार्वा इज कॉल्ड एज एम्फीब्लास्टुला लार्वा और ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज द पेरेनकाइम्यूला लार्वा. सो द डेवलपमेंट इज इनडायरेक्ट, दैट इज larval stage is there. And which type of larva are formed? Amphiblastula larva or parenchyma larva. Now examples of the sponges, the one written in italics are the scientific name and in the bracket are the common name. So Cycon, whose common name is Kypha, Spongilla, which is a freshwater sponge, and Euspongia, which is a bath sponge. So these are some of the examples of the poriferans. Now see students, I told you the canal system. So here you can see there is a single large opening called as osculum. These are the small minute openings which are called as the ostia. And inside there is a large cavity, central cavity, which is called as the spongocoel. And this spongocoel is covered by the collar cells or coenocytes, which are flagellated cells. So these cells are which cells? The coenocyte. So now water current के थ्रू ये ऑस्टिया से वाटर जाएगा कहाँ पे? कैविटी में. ये कैविटी में वाटर में से न्यूट्रिएंट्स, ऑक्सीजन सब यूज़ हो जाएगा एंड जो अभी वेस्ट वाटर है वो एक लार्जर ओपनिंग से बाहर होकर चला जाएगा. एंड व्हाट इज दैट लार्जर ओपनिंग कॉल्ड एज ऑस्क्योसेल, osculum. So this is the water canal system. You can see ostia, spongocoel and the osculum. These are the diagrams of the some poriferans. So this is a cycon, this is Euspongia and this is a spongilla. So that is regarding the poriferans. Now students, the next phylum is the coelenterate, which are also called as the Cnidaria. They are also called as Cnidaria. And they are the sac-like animals. So their appearance is like a sac. So the next phylum is Coelenterata or Cnidaria. Now which type of animals are they? So they are aquatic, that is found in water, mostly marine, that is they are found in salty water, that is in the seas and oceans. They may be sessile or free swimming. It means some of the organisms are fixed, immotile, and some of them are motile. And which type of symmetry they have? Radial symmetry. It means when any plane passing through the center divides the body into equal right and left parts. Now they are given the name Cnidaria. So what do you how they are given the name Cnidaria? So the name Cnidaria is derived from the nidoblast or nidocites or nematoblast or stinging cells. So basically they have the stinging cells. These stinging cells are called as the nidoblast or also called as the nidocites or also called as the nematoblast. Now ये जो nidocites होते हैं या nidoblast होते हैं उनके अंदर stinging capsules होते हैं. What do they contain? They contain the stinging capsules. And where are these nidoblasts present? They are present on the tentacles as well as on the body. So why are they given the name Cnidaria? They are given the name Cnidaria due to the presence of the nidoblast, and this nidoblast, they contains the stinging capsules. And where are these nidoblast present? On the tentacles as well as on the body. Now ये nidoblast या stinging cells का काम क्या है? So stinging cells when discharged, यानी उनकी जो अंदर कैप्सूल होती है, ये कैप्सूल जब डिस्चार्ज होती है, दे गिव आउट फ्रॉम अ सेक. उनका बॉडी कैसा है? सेक लाइक अपीयरेंस. सो वो सेक में से जब ये स्टिंगिंग सेल्स अपना जो रिलीज करेंगे कैप्सूल्स, सो वो क्या बोलते हैं उसको? सो द स्टिंगिंग सेल्स व्हेन डिस्चार्ज गिव आउट फ्रॉम अ स्नेक द नीड और नीडोसिस्ट और निमेटोसिस्ट, यानी स्टिंगिंग सेल्स में से जो मटेरियल निकलता है उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? नीड और नीडोसिस्ट और निमेटोसिस्ट. नाउ ये जो नीड है या निमेटोसिस्ट है या नीडोसिस्ट है, वो कैसी होगी? इट मे बी आइदर अ लॉन्ग थ्रेड लाइक ट्यूब विच में कॉइल अराउंड द प्रे, और इट में अटैच टू द प्रे, और it may inject a toxin called as the hypnotoxin to paralyze the prey. So basically ये stinging cells क्या करते हैं? ये animals को prey से protect करते हैं. They help them in defense. Nidoblast में से जो material निकलता है, that is called as the nidocyst. This nidocyst may be in a form of long thread which coils around the prey, or it may get attached to the prey, or it may inject a toxin called as the hypnotoxin inside the prey, जिसकी वजह से prey क्या हो जाता है? पैरालाइज हो जाता है. So this nidae which is released, stinging cells जो मटेरियल को डिस्चार्ज करता है, which is called as nidae, it provides the name Cnidaria. This is derived from the Greek word need, it means sting. अभी nidoblast का काम क्या है? So they are used for anchorage. Anchorage यानी attachment के लिए, defense यानी उनके protection के लिए, as well as to capture the prey. So this is the use of the nidoblast. आप लोग यहाँ पे देख सकते हो कि दिस इज़ अ कंप्लीट nidoblast. से यहाँ पे आपको प्रॉपर दिखेगा, ये nidoblast है जिसके अंदर ये कैप्सूल है. अभी ये कैप्सूल यहाँ पे रिलीज़ नहीं हुई है. नाउ सी इन दिस सेकंड डायग्राम, इसके अंदर के कैप्सूल रिलीज़ हो चुकी है, एंड ये कैसा स्ट्रक्चर बन गया है? ये थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर. अभी ये थ्रेड लाइक स्ट्रक्चर आइदर प्रे को सराउंडिंग कॉइल हो जाएगा, या प्रे को अटैच कर देगा, या उसमें टॉक्सिन रिलीज़ करेगा, जिसकी वजह से प्रे क्या हो जाएगा? पैरालाइज हो जाएगा. Now which level of organization? So they have tissue level of organization, that is those cells which perform the similar function, they are organized into tissue, and tissues will perform the functions, and are diploblastic, that is they have two germinal layers, ectoderm and endoderm. Now their body wall also consists of two layers. The outer layer is called as epidermis and inner layer is called as the gastrodermis. Say for example outer layer यानी से अपनी बॉडी की बात करते हैं तो स्किन है. सो स्किन कितने पार्ट्स में डिवाइडेड है? दैट इज़ द थिंग. सो यहाँ पे बॉडी वॉल कितने लेयर्स में सराउंडेड है? 2. आउटर लेयर इज एपिडर्मिस, इनर लेयर इज गैस्ट्रोडर्मिस. नाउ ये दोनों के बीच में again there is a sheet of the gelatinous material which is called as the mesoglea. Now जैसे वहाँ in the poriferans they were having the central cavity called as the spongocele. यहाँ पे भी they have a large central gastrovascular cavity which is called as coelenteron with a single opening mouth on the hypostome. So now why are they called as the coelenterate? So the body wall encloses a large central cavity, gastrovascular cavity. Gastro related to the digestion of the food, vascular is the distribution. So दो काम करता है. So their body contains a central cavity called as the coelentron, and as they contain the coelenteron they are called as the coelenterates. Now this coelenteron, which is a digestive tube, digestive cavity, it have a single opening. which is called as the mouth, and this mouth is present on the structure called as the hypostome. Now यहाँ पे डाइजेशन कैसा है, एक्स्ट्रा सेल्यूलर एज वेल एज इंट्रा सेल्यूलर, यानी सम फूड विल बी डाइजेस्टेड इनसाइड द सेल एंड सम फूड विल बी डाइजेस्टेड इनटू द कैविटी. ओके, कौन सी कैविटी, सियोलेंटेरॉन. सपोज ये सियोलेंटेरॉन है, ये सियोलेंटेरॉन है एंड ये एक ही ओपनिंग है, दिस इज माउथ. ओके, सो सम फूड, ये इसके सराउंडिंग सेल्स है, so some food will go inside the cell for digestion and some food get partly digested into this cavity. जहाँ पे कैविटी है, सेल्स नहीं है, यहाँ कैविटी में फूड का डाइजेशन होता है. सो जहाँ पे डाइजेशन ट्यूब में, ल्यूमेन में होता है, कैविटी में होता है, एक्स्ट्रा सेल्यूलर डाइजेशन बोलेंगे. एंड जहाँ पे डाइजेशन अकर्स इनसाइड द सेल, इट इज़ कॉल्ड एज द इंट्रासेल्यूलर डाइजेशन. Here as there is no anus, that is एक ही opening है, that is mouth, the digestive system is called as a incomplete digestive system. Now digestion occurs in coelenteron, यानी cavity में भी होता है, that is gastrovascular cavity, as well as in the food vacuole, that is inside the cell. vacuole कहाँ पे होता है, सेल के अंदर. So that is intracellular digestion as well as the extracellular digestion. Now सियोलेंटेरॉन के दो काम है, दैट इज इट इज़ रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ फूड बिसाइड्स पार्टली डाइजेस्टिंग इट. यानी सियोलेंटेरॉन का काम क्या है, थोड़ा फूड को डाइजेस्ट भी करेगा, उसके अलावा डाइजेस्टेड फूड को वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट भी करता है, ट्रांसपोर्ट भी करता है. सो ड्यू टू द ड्यूअल रोल ऑफ द सियोलेंटेरॉन, इट इज़ नेम्ड एज द और यू कैन से सियोलेंटेरॉन या गैस्ट्रोवस्कुलर कैविटी या जो भी डाइजेस्टिव ट्यूब है, उसके दो रोल है, एंड देयरफॉर इट इज़ कॉल्ड एज द सियोलेंटेरॉन. सियोलेंटेरॉन, सीलम दैट इज कैविटी, एंटेरॉन that is digestion. Enteron is a term related to digestion, or also called as the gastrovascular cavity. Gastro, digestion, vascular, it means distribution. Now यहाँ पे भी रेस्पिरेशन एंड एक्सक्रीटरी ऑर्गन्स नहीं है, बॉडी सरफेस से ही एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस होगा एंड रिमूवल ऑफ वेस्ट मटेरियल भी होगा. एंड विच वेस्ट मटेरियल डू दे रिमूव, अमोनिया. नाउ very important property, the nidarians, that is some nidarians like corals, they have the skeleton which is composed of the calcium carbonate. So in some nidarians their skeleton is there which is composed of calcium carbonate. They have a primitive nervous system. Primitive यानी not well developed nervous system. कैसा है, so it consists of nerve cells, network of nerve cells, that is it consists of the group of nerve cells and their processes. nerve cells के processes कौन से है, axons and dendrons. आपने previous standards में study होगा, किया होगा neuron का structure, right? So it consists of group of the neurons and their processes. Now very important property, nidarians exhibit two basic forms, यानी उनकी दो they are occurring in two forms, two morphology, and that is why they are called as dimorphic. Di यानी two, morphic यानी morphology, and that two forms are polyp form and medusa form. So ये जो nidarians है उनकी दो morphology होती है, either they may occur in polyp form or they may occur in medusa form. Now how can we differentiate which is polyp and which is medusa? So polyp forms, they are sessile. Sessile यानी fixed है, they cannot move. उनका shape कैसा है, cylindrical, right? Solitary or colonial, that is either they may occur singly or may occur in group. And very important thing in them, the mouth is directed upward. Where is the mouth present? Towards the upper side. The examples of polyps are hydra and adamsia. Now medusa कैसा होता है? So first of all the shape, these are umbrella shaped, whereas polyps were which form, cylindrical. Polyps they were sessile, यानी they were not moving, whereas they are free swimming, right? The medusa, they are free swimming, they can move. polyp were solitary or colonial, but medusa are always solitary. And in medusa, the mouth is directed downwards, whereas in the polyp, the mouth was directed towards the upward side. So these nidarians, as they exhibit more than one form, they are those see, उनकी either they may occur in polyp form or they may occur in the medusa form. But there are some nidarians which exhibits both the form. So that is called as the metagenesis or polymorphism. Poly यानी many, morphism यानी morphology. So there are some nidarians जिसमें ये दोनों forms दिखते हैं. पहले हमने जो एग्जाम्पल्स देखे जैसे हाइड्रा, जेलीफिश, उनमें आइदर पॉलिप फॉर्म था, हाइड्रा में पॉलिप फॉर्म था एंड जेलीफिश में कौन सा फॉर्म था, मेड्यूसा. बट देर आर सम निडेरियंस लाइक ओबेलिया कि जहाँ पे दोनों फॉर्म्स दिखते हैं एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द मेटाजेनेसिस. सो दोज निडेरियंस विच एग्जिस्ट इन बोथ forms exhibit alternation of generation, that is metagenesis. So there are certain nidarians like obelia के जहाँ पे दोनों forms दिखते हैं, but in such case they exhibit alternation of generation, यानी polyps they will form the medusa by asexual reproduction. Polyps ने always asexual reproduction होकर क्या बनेगा, medusa. एंड मेड्यूसा सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन करके किसका डेवलपमेंट करेगा, पॉलिप्स का. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द ओबेलिया. द पॉलिप्स बाय एसेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन फॉर्म्स मेड्यूसा एंड मेड्यूसा बाय सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन फॉर्म्स पॉलिप्स. सो दिस पॉलिप फॉर्म अल्टरनेट्स विद द medusa form, that is called as the alternation of generation or also called as the metagenesis. Now when we talk about the reproduction, sexes may be separate or united, that is they may be unisexual or they may be bisexual. Reproduction is usually asexual, that is by budding in polyp form. So polyp form में जो भी nidarians है they will always reproduce asexually by budding, and जिसमें medusa form है they will undergo sexual reproduction. Very important. Polyps always undergo asexual reproduction by budding and medusa form always undergoes sexual reproduction. Okay, sexual reproduction है तो fertilization होगा. So either fertilization may take place inside the body or it may take place outside the body. So fertilization may be external or it may be internal. Development is indirect. Indirect यानी I told you के larval form will be there and larva is morphologically distinct from the adult form. So development indirect यानी larval form है. So which larva they produce? Free swimming ciliated larva. Free swimming यानी water में swim हो सकता है. कैसे swim करेगा? With the help of cilia. And what is the name of the larva? Planula larva. So that is regarding the characteristics of the nidarians. Now at the end some examples are given, very important, their common name as well as their scientific name. Physalia, whose common name is Portuguese man of war. Adamsia, whose common name is sea anemone. Penatula, whose common name is sea pen. Gorgonia, whose common name is sea fen. And Mindrina, whose common name is brain coral. So see students, I told you regarding the alternation of generation in obelia. So polyp phase undergoes asexual reproduction and क्या बनाएगा, medusa phase. medusa क्या करेगा, sexual reproduction करके कौन सा phase का development करेगा, polyps. So polyps undergo asexual reproduction and form the medusa. Medusa undergoes sexual reproduction and form the polyps. And what is this process called as? Alternation of generation, or also it is called as the metagenesis. What is it called as? Metagenesis. See, I told you obelia. So obelia में क्या होता है? So there is alternation of generation. So say for example we begin with the medusa form. See, this is a medusa form, these are the medusa form. See their appearance, they are basically umbrella shaped, right? Now ये medusa मेल वाला जो होगा वो स्पर्म का प्रोडक्शन करेगा, फीमेल मेड्यूसा विल फॉर्म द एग. ये दोनों का फर्टिलाइजेशन होकर क्या बनेगा, अभी जाइगोट बनेगा. ये फेज कैसा है, हैप्लॉइड है, क्योंकि गैमेट्स बने हैं. अगर गैमेट्स बनने के बाद जाइगोट जो बन जाएगा वो कैसा होगा, डिप्लॉइड. अभी जाइगोट क्या बनाएगा, पेन्युलर लार्वा. एंड ये लार्वा का फिर डेवलपमेंट होकर फाइनली क्या बनेगा, पॉलिप्स बनेगा. एंड पॉलिप्स का फॉर्म्स देखो, दे आर विच टाइप ऑफ फॉर्म, दे आर सिलिंड्रिकल फॉर्म. ओके, अभी ये जो पॉलिप है वो एसेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन करेगा, कैसे, बडिंग से. सो ये बड बनी विच लेटर डिटैचेस फ्रॉम द पेरेंट बॉडी, एंड बाद में ये बड किस में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा, मेड्यूसा में. So that is the reproduction and alternation of generation in Obelia. Now I told you they occur in two forms, either medusa form or polyp form. See, this is a polyp form जिसका cylindrical shape है and mouth कहाँ पे है, towards the upper side. Whereas this is a medusa form जो umbrella shaped है and mouth कहाँ पे है, lower form. Here it will be more clear. This is a single opening with a mouth and acting as both anus. Tentacles are present in the body. यहाँ पे mouth upper side में है. And this is medusa के जो umbrella shaped है. See, this is the umbrella shaped. And जहाँ पे mouth कहाँ पे है, inner side पे, downward side पे. These are the examples. The first one is the Aurelia, which occurs in medusa form, and the second one is the Edemptia, which occurs in the polyp form. See, this is the cylindrical form and this is the umbrella form. यहाँ पे mouth upper side पे है, यहाँ पे mouth downward side पे है. So that was regarding the Cnidaria. Now the next phylum is the Ctenophora, which are also called as ACNIDARIA. Why they are called as ACNIDARIA? यहाँ पे nidoblast नहीं है, इसीलिए उसको ACNIDARIA भी बोलते हैं. So Ctenophora or ACNIDARIA. Ctenophores are commonly known as sea walnuts or comb jellies. So what is the another name for the ctenophores? Sea walnuts or comb jellies. They are exclusively marine, that is they are always found in the marine water. Radially symmetrical, that is when any plane passing through the body divides the body into equal right and left half. Diploblastic, that is with the two germinal layers, ectoderm and endoderm, and tissue level of organization. Nematoblast or nidoblast, they are absent, so they are also called as ACNIDARIans. Now their body bears 8 external row of the ciliated comb plates. So उनमें comb जैसा structure है and ये 8 rows में exist करते हैं. So they have the external rows of the ciliated comb plates. Comb जैसे structure है जिसमें comb में कैसे वो उसके teeth होते हैं. So यहाँ पे जो teeth हो गए वो कैसे बने हो गए, cilia के, and this help them in locomotion, and hence the ctenophores are called as the comb jellies. So as their body contains 8 external rows of the ciliated comb plates, what are they called as, comb jellies, and these comb plates they help in the locomotion. Tene it means comb, and ophora it means carrying. So they contain the comb like structure and therefore they are called as ctenophores. Their body also consists of 2 layers. Outer layer is epidermis, inner layer is gastrodermis. ये दोनों layers के बीच में thick mesoglea है. Now this particular organisms they contain the adhesive cell. Adhesive यानी attachment के लिए helpful होगा. These cells are called as the colloblast. So they have the special adhesive cell called as the colloblast. Digestion is both extracellular as well as intracellular, यानी inside the cell, that is in the food vacuole, that is intracellular, and extracellular means in the lumen of the digestive cavity. Now very important property of the ctenophores is bioluminescence. Bio it means living organisms. Luminescence means the property to emit the light. So as the animals are emitting the light, as a living organism is emitting a light, what is that called as bioluminescence? That is the property of living organism to emit the light. So it is well marked in the ctenophores. So they can emit the light. Skeletal, excretory and respiratory systems are absent. They are carnivorous animals. A pair of long solid tentacles are present, which special cells called as लेसोसेल्स विच हेल्प इन कैचिंग द प्रे. कार्निवोर्स है तो उनको प्रे को कैच करना पड़ेगा. सो हाउ डू दे कैच द प्रे? सो दे ऑल्सो हैव द टेंटेकल्स. दिस टेंटेकल्स हैव द cells called as lesocells, and this lesocells helps to capture the prey. Sexes are not separate, yani they are bisexual animals, hermaphrodites. Reproduction takes place only by the asexual means, yani kaisa reproduction hai? Only by the sexual means. So which type of reproduction? Sexual reproduction. Fertilization is external, that is outside the body. Development is indirect, यानी larval stage है. So they develop the ciliated larva, and the name of the larva is sidipid larva. So sexual reproduction, external fertilization, indirect development. Indirect development यानी larval stage होता है, and the larva and adult they are morphologically distinct. Larva का नाम क्या है? Sidipid larva. The example, so these are some of the characteristics of the ctenophores. Their examples of are pleurobrachia and the ctenoplana. So these are the diagrams. This is the pleurobrachia and this is a ctenoplana. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो कि देखो डार्क में वो क्या एमिट कर रहा है, लाइट को एमिट कर रहा है. So that is regarding the characteristics of the ctenophore. So students, today we have studied three important phylums. One is Porifera, which were commonly called as the sponges. We have studied coelenterons, which were called as Cnidaria, and we have studied regarding the Ctenophora or ACNIDARIA. Today I end my lecture here. In the next lecture we will be studying regarding the other phylums of the animals. Thank you students.